into a greengrocer's there and saw something called a flavor saver tomato being sold, and it was advertised as a genetically modified tomato. But that was the beginning of genetically modified foods and crops. That was the first genetically modified food that had ever been sold in the US. So by 99 and 2000, this whole narrative started to emerge that had to do with the third world, and it had to do with these crops are really, or these foods are really what is needed to feed the third world. And people were going back and forth arguing that no, these new crops actually are endangering people in developing countries. They're not needed to feed people. They're not tested. They're not safe. They're leading to corporate control over food. Versus the other side arguing that no, this is science. This is progress. These are technologies that can make safer foods and more productive foods, and so on and so forth. Basically, there were a lot of claims being made about how these technologies would affect farmers and would affect the consuming public, and there was almost no role in the debates for people who actually studied those things for long. And India turned out to be far and away the most interesting place to me. I think a lot of it, I tend not to want to talk about things being good or bad in general. I tend to think of them, are they good for a particular party or for a particular interest? So I think biotech is good for a lot of interests, especially in the US. But in terms of these claims, the idea that this is going to be a key technology for feeding the third world and for helping third world farmers, I'm much more skeptical on that claim.